20 biggest sexual chemistry signs between two people. You're talking to someone, and nothing dramatic has happened. No one has made a move. No one has said anything openly sexual. But somehow the air feels different. Their eyes linger, your voice changes, the silence gets heavier, and a tiny brush of hands feels louder than the whole conversation. That's the kind of sexual chemistry people remember, because it feels physical before it becomes physical. But not every spark means the same thing. And the final sign reveals what separates real chemistry from temporary tension. 1. The eye contact feels physically charged. Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt the look somewhere in your body, not just your mind? That's one of the clearest early signs of sexual chemistry. Normal eye contact feels social. Charged eye contact feels like contact before touch. The difference is tension. When two people want each other, the gaze often holds for just a second longer than politeness requires. Then one person looks away, not because they're bored, but because the feeling got too intense. Here's the thing. Eye contact activates attention, arousal, and emotional exposure at the same time. The pupils can dilate, the facial muscles soften, and the gaze starts moving between the eyes and the mouth. That mouth glance matters because it shifts the energy from conversation into physical possibility. It doesn't mean someone is asking for anything. It means their attention has become bodily. They're not just hearing you, they're imagining closeness. And when you feel yourself wanting to hold the look, break it, then return to it. That's the loop. Sexual chemistry often begins when two people realize the gaze itself has become intimate. 2. The space between you starts feeling loaded. Does the distance between you feel unusually noticeable, even before either of you moves closer? When there's no chemistry, space is just space. With sexual chemistry, space becomes tension. You notice how close they're standing, how near their hand is, whether their knee is almost touching yours, whether their shoulder enters your personal zone. It can feel like the air itself has texture. Here's what most people don't realize. Sexual tension often builds through proximity before it builds through touch. Proxemics, the study of personal space, shows that distance carries meaning because the body treats closeness as access. When someone is sexually drawn to you, they may reduce the space slowly, almost experimentally. They lean in during a quieter sentence. They stay close after reaching for something. They don't rush to step back when the practical reason for closeness has passed. The key is mutual permission. If they move closer and you relax, the tension grows. If you move closer and they stay open, it grows again. The chemistry lives in that silent agreement. Neither person has said anything explicit, but both bodies are already negotiating closeness. 3. Their voice starts sounding more intimate. Have you ever heard someone say something ordinary, but the tone made it feel suggestive? That's sexual chemistry moving through the voice. The words may be completely harmless. They might ask if you want another drink, say your name, or make a small joke. But the sound underneath carries warmth, slowness, and awareness. Here's something that might surprise you. Attraction can change vocal prosody, pitch, pace, breath, resonance, and rhythm. When desire is present, people often speak a little lower, a little softer, or with more deliberate pauses. The larynx, diaphragm, and breath all become part of the signal. That's why a simple sentence can suddenly feel like it has a second meaning. It isn't always the content, it's the delivery. A sexually charged voice often feels as though it's meant for you specifically. Even if others can hear it, it has focus. It draws you closer instead of broadcasting outward. And when your own voice changes in response, becoming softer, slower, or more playful, the chemistry is becoming mutual. Two people aren't just talking anymore. Their voices are touching the edge of desire. And if you want dating advice that talks about desire without turning it into games or pressure, like and subscribe. This space is for people who care about attraction, consent, sexual confidence, and reading real chemistry between adults. 4. The touching has hesitation in it. So, why can a small touch feel more sexual than an obvious move? Because sexual chemistry is often strongest when touch is controlled. A hand on your arm, a knee brushing yours, fingers grazing for half a second. None of it has to be explicit to feel charged. The important part is the hesitation. Careless touch moves through you. Charged touch notices you. It pauses just enough to ask a silent question. Think about that for a second. The skin is full of sensory receptors, and the brain maps touch through the somatosensory cortex. But the meaning of touch comes from context and response. If someone touches you and immediately reads whether you soften, lean in, smile, or pull away, they're not just trying to create contact. They're tracking consent. That makes the moment more sexually charged, not less. Desire becomes hotter when it has awareness inside it. The tension comes from what could happen, not from someone forcing it to happen. When two people are attracted, even a brief touch can feel like a preview, not because it crosses a line, but because both people can feel the line. 5. You both become aware of each other's mouths. Have you ever caught someone glancing at your lips, then quickly returning to your eyes? That's one of the most direct signs that the attraction has turned physical. People look at what they're thinking about, not always consciously, and not always boldly, but the pattern shows up. The mouth becomes a focus because it carries speech, breath, kissing, appetite, and sensual expression all at once. That's not just flirtation, that's bodily attention. When sexual chemistry is present, eyes often move in a triangle. Eyes, mouth, back to eyes. The face becomes a map of possibility. The other person may watch you speak more closely. They may notice when you smile, bite your lip, touch your mouth, or pause before answering. You may notice the same things in them. This is where the energy shifts from, "I like talking to you," into, "I'm aware of your body." The sign gets stronger when the mouth glance creates a pause. If they look at your lips and the conversation slows for a second, both nervous systems registered the same thing. The desire didn't need words. It showed up as attention. 6. The flirting has a sexual edge without becoming crude. Does the teasing between you feel playful, but also slightly dangerous in a good way? That edge matters. General attraction can be sweet. Sexual chemistry adds voltage. The jokes become more layered. A comment has a second meaning. A pause after a playful line feels heavier than the line itself. Nobody has to say anything explicit. In fact, the chemistry is often stronger when both people are dancing around the obvious rather than naming it too soon. Here's the deeper signal. Sexual tension uses ambiguity. It gives both people room to test the energy without cornering the other person. A suggestive joke, a raised eyebrow, a playful challenge, or a quiet careful can carry more charge than an openly sexual comment because it invites response instead of demanding it. The key is warmth. If the edge comes with respect, responsiveness, and mutual laughter, it creates arousal. If it comes with pressure, it creates discomfort. Real sexual chemistry doesn't need to humiliate, shock, or push. It lets both people feel the forbidden edge of the moment while still feeling safe enough to enjoy it. 7. Your body feels more awake around them. Have you ever stood near someone and suddenly become aware of your posture, your breathing, your hands, or your skin? That's a major sexual chemistry sign. It's not just nervousness, it's physical activation. Your body knows another body is affecting it. The sympathetic nervous system increases alertness. Heart rate can rise, breath can change, and norepinephrine can sharpen sensation. You may feel warmer, more restless, more present, or more aware of being watched. That doesn't mean you're uncomfortable. It means your body is no longer neutral. Sexual chemistry often makes you feel slightly more alive in your own skin. You adjust your clothes, you shift your stance, you notice their scent, their movement, the distance between your bodies. They may show the same signs: touching their neck, fixing their hair, swallowing, changing posture, or becoming suddenly still when the energy intensifies. These little signals are easy to dismiss because they're not dramatic, but desire often enters the room through micro-adjustments. The body starts preparing for closeness before the mind has decided what to do with it. Chemistry makes both people more embodied. 8. Silence starts feeling sensual. Does the silence between you feel awkward, or does it feel like something is happening inside it? When sexual chemistry is present, silence doesn't always create discomfort. It can create heat. Words stop, but the awareness stays. You feel the eye contact. You notice the breath. You become conscious of how close you are. That pause can feel more revealing than conversation because there's nothing to hide behind. Here's why it matters. Sexual tension is built from anticipation, and anticipation needs space. If every pause is filled too quickly, the tension never gets a chance to grow. But when two people can sit in a charged silence without panicking, the body starts listening more closely. The autonomic nervous system is balancing arousal and safety at the same time. You feel alert, but not threatened. Awake, but not overwhelmed. That's the exact zone where chemistry becomes powerful. The silence seems to ask, "Do you feel this too?" And if both people stay present instead of escaping, the answer is already there. Sometimes the most sexual moment in a conversation is the pause where neither person says the thing both people are thinking. 9. The goodbye takes too long. Have you ever tried to leave someone and realized neither of you was actually leaving? That slow goodbye is one of the clearest signs of sexual chemistry. It often happens when the conversation is technically over, but the body doesn't want the contact to end. Someone remembers one more thing to say. The hug lasts a moment longer. Eye contact returns after you've already said goodbye. The space between you closes, opens, then closes again. That friction matters. Endings reveal desire because they force a choice: break contact or extend it. When the attraction is only polite, people leave cleanly. When the chemistry is sexual, the ending gets sticky. The attachment system and reward circuitry both respond to separation cues, especially when the interaction has felt exciting. Your body wants one more signal, one more look, one more touch, one more excuse. The sign is strongest when it's mutual and respectful. Nobody blocks anyone from leaving. Nobody pressures. But both people seem reluctant to cut the thread. Sexual chemistry often becomes obvious at the exact moment the interaction should be finished, because the body is quietly arguing for more. 10. You can feel the tension in ordinary contact. Does a casual brush of hands feel too noticeable to be casual? This is where sexual chemistry becomes hard to ignore. Passing a phone, reaching for the same object, sitting shoulder to shoulder, standing in a crowded hallway. Ordinary contact suddenly feels amplified. The action itself may be small, but the sensation has a long echo. Here's the thing. Sexual chemistry doesn't need dramatic touch to announce itself. It changes the meaning of ordinary touch. When the body is already primed by attraction, even light contact can produce a spike of awareness because the brain interprets the sensation through desire. The same brush of fingers that would mean nothing with someone else suddenly feels like a question. You may replay it after it happens. They may become briefly quieter. The conversation may stumble for half a second. That tiny disruption is the sign. The body registered more than the situation required. This is also why mutual chemistry can feel almost ridiculous from the outside. Nothing obvious happened, yet both people felt it. The contact was ordinary. The charge was not. Sexual chemistry turns minor physical moments into evidence. 11. They mirror your sensual pace. Have you ever noticed someone matching your rhythm without seeming to try? Not just your words, but your physical pace. You lean back, they relax. You speak softer, they lower their voice. You slow down, they stop rushing. This matters because sexual chemistry is rhythmic. It's not only about wanting someone. It's about whether your bodies can find a shared tempo. Research on interpersonal synchrony shows that people who feel connected often mirror posture, timing, gestures, and vocal rhythm. In sexual chemistry, that synchrony becomes more embodied. The pace of the conversation, the length of the pauses, the level of eye contact, and the amount of physical closeness start adjusting between you. Neither person has to control the whole interaction. It starts feeling co-created. That's why chemistry with one person can feel easy, and chemistry with another can feel forced, even if both are attractive. Desire needs rhythm. If one person is rushing and the other is retreating, the sexual charge breaks. But when both people naturally slow down, lean in, tease, pause, and respond at the same tempo, the chemistry starts feeling almost physical before anything happens. 12. The compliments feel like they're about desire, not politeness. Have you ever received a compliment that felt intimate because it revealed what someone had been noticing? That's a different category from basic praise. A polite compliment says, "You look nice." A sexually charged compliment says, "I noticed something specific about you, and I'm affected by it." It may focus on your voice, your scent, your confidence, your mouth, the way you move, the way you look at them, or the energy you carry when you enter a room. Here's what makes it charged. The compliment contains exposure. The person giving it risks revealing that they've been paying attention in a bodily way. Personalized praise has more emotional force because it signals memory and selective attention. Attraction attaches to details, and desire often leaks through specificity. The compliment doesn't need to be explicit. In fact, it can be more powerful when it stays just below the surface. You have a distracting smile carries more sexual tension than a generic line because it admits effect. It tells you that your presence is doing something to them. When the air changes after the compliment, listen to that pause. The pause is where the desire lives. 13. There's a push-pull energy. Does the connection feel like both of you move closer, then pull back, then return again? That rhythm is a classic sign of sexual tension. It doesn't mean manipulation. Healthy push-pull is not about games. It's the nervous system managing intensity. Someone leans in, then looks away. They flirt, then become briefly composed. You get close, then both of you reset. The chemistry builds because the desire is present, but nobody is rushing to spend it all at once. That's important. Sexual arousal and social self-control often exist together. The prefrontal cortex helps regulate impulse, while the reward system responds to anticipation. That means a person can want closeness and still slow themselves down. In fact, the slowing down can make the attraction stronger because anticipation increases charge. The difference between healthy tension and emotional games is care. Healthy push-pull feels playful, mutual, and safe. Games feel confusing, cold, or punishing. If both people keep returning with warmth, the distance is not rejection, it's regulation. The body is saying, "This is intense. Let's not lose control of the moment." That kind of restraint can make the desire feel even sharper. 14. You both become more physically expressive. Have you ever noticed someone becoming more animated around you in a way that feels sensual rather than performative? Their hands move more, their posture opens, their smile lingers. They stretch, shift, lean, or angle their body in ways that draw attention without looking forced. Sexual chemistry often makes people inhabit their bodies more visibly. The body wants to be seen. That doesn't mean someone is deliberately posing. It can be much subtler. They may expose the neck slightly, hold eye contact while moving slowly, or become more aware of how they take up space. From a behavioral perspective, attraction often increases self-presentation. People unconsciously highlight features, movements, and expressions that make them feel desirable. You may do it too. You sit differently. You gesture more deliberately. You become aware of how your body looks from their angle. The key is mutual energy, not performance. If both people become more alive, more expressive, and more physically present, the interaction starts to feel charged. Sexual chemistry makes the body feel like part of the conversation. Not in a crude way, in a deeply human way. You're not only exchanging ideas, you're both becoming visible. 15. Their attention drops from your face to your body and returns with respect. Have you ever felt someone notice your body without feeling reduced to it? That distinction is everything. Sexual chemistry includes physical awareness. Pretending it doesn't would be dishonest. But real chemistry feels different from being stared at, sized up, or objectified. The sign is not that someone looks at your body. The sign is how they do it, and what happens after. A respectful body glance is brief, warm, and quickly returns to your eyes. It acknowledges attraction without taking possession. A disrespectful stare feels consuming, entitled, or disconnected from your comfort. The nervous system can tell the difference quickly. Studies of gaze behavior show that visual attention changes with desire, but emotionally intelligent attraction remains socially responsive. In plain language, someone can be turned on and still aware of you as a whole person. That's what makes the chemistry feel safe enough to intensify. If you notice them noticing you and you feel flattered, awake, and respected, that's meaningful. If you feel tense, exposed, or diminished, that's not chemistry you need to romanticize. Real sexual chemistry lets you feel desired without feeling handled by someone's eyes. 16. Consent feels woven into the tension. Have you ever felt more turned on because someone didn't rush the moment? That's one of the strongest signs of mature sexual chemistry. Many people think desire should be impulsive to be real, but when two adults are genuinely tuned in, the checking, pausing, and reading of each other doesn't kill the heat. It creates it. Sexual tension becomes more powerful when both people know they're free to choose. Here's the deeper truth. The body links arousal with safety. If someone moves closer and watches your response, if they pause before escalating touch, if they ask without making the moment awkward, they're showing sexual intelligence. Consent is not a cold interruption. Done well, it's part of the erotic charge because it says, I want this with you, not at you. That difference is huge. Desire that ignores consent creates pressure. Desire that includes consent creates trust. And trust allows the body to relax into wanting. If you feel both excited and able to say yes, no, slower, or not yet, the chemistry is healthier and often stronger. The hottest tension is the kind where nobody has to disappear for it to continue. 17. The fantasy starts before anything happens. Ever catch yourself imagining what it would feel like to kiss them, touch them, or be alone with them before anything physical has actually happened? That's not just attraction. That's sexual chemistry moving into imagination. The mind starts running previews. A look becomes a scene. A brush of hands becomes a replay. A goodbye becomes something you think about later. Desire often grows through anticipation, and anticipation can be more intense than immediate gratification. Dopamine is tied closely to wanting, reward prediction, and pursuit, which is why the almost can feel so powerful. When chemistry is strong, your brain starts treating possibility as pleasure. You may wonder what their skin would feel like, how they'd kiss, whether the tension would be as strong in private as it is in public. This doesn't mean you should act on every thought. It means your desire has become specific. You're not just thinking, they're attractive. You're imagining proximity with them. And if you sense they're imagining too, through the glances, pauses, and charged restraint, the space between you becomes filled with unspoken possibility. 18. The attraction makes you feel bold and careful at the same time. Does this person make you want to move closer, while also making you more aware of doing it right? That combination is a powerful sign of real sexual chemistry. Weak attraction often makes people either reckless or passive. Strong chemistry creates a strange mix, courage and restraint. You want to say the slightly riskier thing, hold the gaze longer, stand closer, touch their arm, or let the silence stretch. But you also care how it lands. That care is part of the desire. The prefrontal cortex and reward system are both involved here. One pulls you toward possibility, the other helps you read timing, consequences, and boundaries. In lived experience, that feels like heat with self-control. You're not numb, you're not detached, you're very aware, but you don't want to break the moment by forcing it. The same may be true for them. They flirt, but they don't corner you. They show interest, but they leave space. They make you feel wanted, not hunted. That's the difference between sexual chemistry and pressure. Chemistry invites, pressure insists. When attraction makes both people more alive and more considerate, the tension has real depth. 19. The room feels different when you're alone together. Have you ever been with someone in a group and felt the chemistry, then ended up alone with them and felt the whole atmosphere change? That transition reveals a lot. In public, sexual tension can hide inside jokes, glances, and timing. Alone, the energy has fewer distractions. The question becomes harder to avoid. What is actually between us? If the chemistry is real, the room often feels quieter, closer, and more electrically aware. The nervous system registers privacy as possibility. Breath changes. Pauses lengthen. Eye contact becomes harder to hold and harder to break. This is where many people either rush, panic, or pretend nothing is happening. But the strongest sign is mutual steadiness inside the charge. You both feel the shift, and neither person needs to force it into a performance. Researchers studying arousal often distinguish between activation and interpretation. Your body can be activated, but the meaning depends on the context and the person you're with. Alone together, that context becomes clearer. If you feel desire, respect, curiosity, and safety rising at the same time, that's not just general attraction anymore. That's sexual chemistry becoming honest. 20. The calm after the heat still pulls you in. What does it mean when the charged moment passes and you still want to be near them? This is the sign from the beginning. The spark is important, but the after feeling tells the truth. If the heat drops and you feel anxious, drained, or unsure, don't romanticize it. If it settles into ease, curiosity, and quiet hunger, your body is saying something clearer. The chemistry wasn't only intensity, it had safety underneath it. That safety underneath the heat is where chemistry becomes revealing. And once you can feel real sexual chemistry, the next question is even more interesting. How do you tell if your crush has a high sex drive? Because high desire doesn't always look obvious. It's not just being flirty, bold, or physical. Sometimes it shows up in how quickly tension builds, how they respond to suggestion, how much they crave closeness, and how their body reacts when attraction becomes mutual. A crush can like you and still not carry that kind of appetite. The video on screen breaks down the signs your crush has a high sex drive and the ones most people completely misread.